Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Now, I am by no means a fan of The Office in any way, shape, or form. I've never really watched it outside of the clips that we all see on the internet floating around all the time, but I've heard some good things. I know a lot of people said they really enjoyed it and it was a really good time out there. But at the end of the day, I am a fan of fans, and I want to be able to try to amplify fans' voices as much as what I possibly can. And well, boys and girls, the voices, the fans of the amplification that we are going to do here today is there is a new reboot coming from Amazon Prime Video, and Jennifer Sulky over there, an Australian version of The Office. And ladies and gentlemen, it is getting ratioed by the fans out there into absolute oblivion. And it just spells one more disastrous dumpster fire for the Amazon Prime company out there who is trying to buy its way into Hollywood but can't see its way out of a wet paper bag because all of its diversion, inclusion, and equity. And now it's getting called out for it. And the best part about this is the media out there is already trying to run cover for this kind of thing with headlines like this. The Office Australia star on being franchise's first female boss, an online backlash. Of course, they're going to come for me. But it's really kind of funny when you understand the whole context and look at the rest of the article. It makes it very curious that the Hollywood Reporter chose that part of the article to highlight in their headline. Color us shocked there. So we're checking out this article from cosmicbook.news, getting all the juicy details of exactly how badly this ratio is. And of course, see what it looks like is at its current time that we are currently recording this video as well. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you a big Office fan out there? Have you watched different versions out there? Is this a version that was going to interest you in any way, shape, or form? Do you think this trailer was funny, or do you agree with the majority of the fans out there that this thing is going to end up being a hot pile of steaming garbage? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. All right, from our dear sweet friend Matt McGloin over at cosmicbook.news. And if you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the description down below as well. Fans destroy The Office Australia on YouTube. Dun, dun, dun. And then, like I said, this is one of them situations where if this ever ends up making any kind of more mainstream zeitgeist kind of stuff out there, is like it hits another article in the Hollywood Reporter or something like that. This is why they front loaded this, right? Because they probably had suspicions out there that there was going to be issues with this show, that maybe it wasn't even funny. Maybe it's Australian humor. Australian humor just doesn't land very well with the rest of the world. I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is why they do this. They front load this because it's a woman leading the show. So they want to start off with this. And this is the headline that they run with, even though you have to literally dig all the way through the article. And it's literally just one little thing over here. Right here. They ask first question. The Office is kind of a brand established. What's it like coming to something that's already well established? She goes, talks about the part of The Office, like to call you mom, yada, yada, yada. So she says, and then 5 minutes later, I was like, oh, I'm going to get fucking dragged by the internet. They're really going to come for me. And so I do not get involved in the internet at all. It's none of my business. I don't read comments, articles, headlines, nothing. Not for me, not for my eyes. The Hollywood Reporter says that's a good attitude to have. She says, yeah, it's called delusional. And literally, that's the only line she's got in there at all about getting dragged because she's a female. The whole rest of it is talking about how she wants to do a good job and yada, yada, yada. So this, once again, is the media trying to run interference for something that might not even actually need it. Because when you go over here and you look at the ratio has nothing to do with the fact that it's a female lead. Zero, nada, zip, zilch. They just don't like it. It's not funny. The Office gets another reboot over in Australia, courtesy of Amazon Prime Video. But the fan reaction isn't good, as the trailer has 72,000 dislikes. And at the time of this recording, it's still 72,000 dislikes. This thing is getting no traction anymore. This latest version of The Office is a new take on the original Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant classic that first aired in the UK and then became super famous with the US version led by Steve Carell. The new Australian version has Aussie variants of the original: David, Tim, Don, Gareth, and variants of the US versions: Michael, Pam, Jim, Dwight, etc. There's actually been over a dozen versions of The Office that have aired in various countries, so it's not like this is supposed to be replacing any other version. The characters are actually supposed to be similar to and variants of the more well-known versions. I think that's right, he says, because it's one of them situations where he's not fully understanding the idea and the thought process behind this either, because apparently it's been kind of confusing for everybody out there. So following the recent US version, I also believe this Aussie version happens to be getting the biggest release. It's having worldwide release on Prime Video in 240 countries and territories worldwide, which started on October 18th. That is everywhere but the US. Now, isn't that interesting? Because what's one of those things that if they did premiere this in the US, what would we get? Samba TV numbers, Nielsen numbers. We'd know how well this show was doing or not doing. Now, I don't know much about the rating systems for like Australia. I know a little bit about the UK and the BBC. I don't know how the rest of those systems work. But what do you want to bet? Oh, there's a little bit behind that. There's a little bit of that behind that. The U.S. has a new version of The Office underway, described as set in a dying historic Midwestern newspaper, and the publisher is trying to revive it with volunteer reporters. So that could be the reason why they're not premiering it in the U.S. But boys and girls, we know what kind of embarrassment Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and Jennifer Sulky have gotten time and time again, even though they try to go out there and go, oh, well, look how wonderful our internal numbers are all. Yeah, everybody compares it to the actual numbers we can all compare. So I guarantee you that's part of the problem. They knew it wasn't going to be funny. So what do the comments say about The Office? Prime Video released a trailer about a month ago. Watch below. We're not going to. It hit Reddit and got 0 upvotes, and fans have destroyed it in the comments on YouTube. A handful of reviews also hit Rotten Tomatoes, where fans presently give it a 32%. That is pathetic. And some of these comments are absolutely hilarious. And we'll just go straight over to the actual trailer over here. Like, see, right here, 5.6 thousand upvotes to 72,000 downvotes. It's pretty bad. When the comment section is roasting the show is funnier than the show itself. Did you watch the trailer for Amazon's Australian remake of The Office in 2024? You may be entitled to compensation. This trailer has killed more people than the Scranton Strangler ever did. Damn. Dear Amazon, just pretend this never happened and scrap it, okay? Thanks. Trust me, buddy, if they didn't do that for Rings of Power, they're not going to do that for this. Dear Prime, it's not too late to delete this. Bold choice to put online trailer for a comedy show without a single joke in it. And we thought the breakdancing was the worst Australia would put out this year. Wow. An Olympics dig. Carmen here says, Australian here. If you want an Australian workplace comedy with jokes included in the trailer, try Utopia and Fisk. So there you go, boys and girls. If you were hoping the Office show was going to be good and the Australian version of the Office show was going to be good with actual jokes, well, it's not going to end up happening that way. So go check out Utopia and Fisk. Shout out to this Australian that helped us out with that. This one's a classic. This one's a classic. I've been confined to a wheelchair for the past 20 years today. I stood up and walked just to turn this off. If they showed the Australian version of The Office on a plane, people would walk out. Ouch! The internet is a savage, boys and girls. The internet is a savage. I will use Michael Scott quote, no, God, please, no. And I mean, it just goes on and on, making fun of the Sherlocks. On behalf of everyone in my country, we completely understand if this results in a nuclear strike. I mean, holy cow. People always calling out the fact that it's going to be out there. It's going to be canceled after a first season. Yeah, this is The Office's ray gun. I'm shocked the comment section isn't disabled. You know, I knew exactly what to do, but in much more real sense, I had no idea what to do. Michael Scott. Like, I mean, it's just, this is hilarious. I mean, this is what's going to happen. I don't know if this show is going to be woke. I don't know if this show is going to be what or any of that other kind of stuff. But I mean, this is just absolutely hilarious. And any chance I get to make fun of Amazon Prime and Jennifer Sulky and the absolute abominations they have made and all of the destruction that they have tried to do to so many beautiful fandoms and so many beautiful IPs out there, The Office is just the next one in a long line. They did it to The Magicians. They did it to Rings of Power. They're going to end up doing it to other things going forward. Like, it's just going to be more of the exact same. So color me shocked there that this trailer got absolutely obliviated and absolutely roasted and just completely and totally ratioed out there on YouTube. This is what happens when you put out a bunch of hot pile of steaming garbage, when you don't respect the fans, when you don't respect what has come before you, and when you don't have any desire to actually recreate it and give us a good quality quality storytelling. I guarantee you at the end of the day, when these episodes come out and as the show continues to go on, it will just be nothing more than a bunch of DEI-filled drivel, and we will see the prime example of what it looks like when the spirit of the age tries to make a comedy and how poorly they absolutely do. And as of right now, clearly all of the fans are understanding that, seeing this for exactly what it is, and guess what, Amazon Prime? That ratio is exactly what you deserve.